Real quickly before we begin, I want to thank this video's sponsor, CarMarshal.com. CarMarshal.com can save you lots of money on buying used or new vehicles, cars, trucks, school buses. If you want to save money, I'll have a link in the description down below. I know I'm going to...
A question tonight, was a police officer fired for being too nice? We received a tip to the newsroom about something that happened in Alpharetta. That officer wasn't writing enough tickets for minor fender benders, and that is apparently against department policy. CBS 46's Dante Renzulli is investigating. So, Dante, what'd you learn tonight?
Well, Tracy, there might be other police departments operating like this, but they don't necessarily advertise it to the public. The reason we found out is because an officer was fired because he took a stand against this policy. According to a memo in the Alpharetta Police Department, they want drivers to get criminal misdemeanors anytime two cars bump into each other for any reason.
To have a blanket policy that applies to all kinds of incidents doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Charles Westover rear-ended another driver in January, and Officer Daniel Capps was dispatched to write the accident report. I couldn't get an interview with Capps, but I did find these photos of him on a Facebook page.
Extremely courteous, very professional, and was just sort of acknowledging that it was a minor fender bender and there was no need to issue a ticket.
Westover says no one was injured and only the bumpers were damaged on each car. Capps didn't write him a ticket, and as Westover later learned, that ended up costing the officer his job.
I was pretty appalled. I am pretty appalled. That doesn't seem right to put that kind of mark on this gentleman's life.
When I asked the city for a comment, a spokesperson told me not writing tickets was just the final straw in, quote, a pattern of performance and poor decision-making that was simply not acceptable. So I had a look at the officer's disciplinary record, and nothing really caught my eye. We're going to put the full list on our website so you can see for yourself, but it seemed like the main thing that got the supervisors upset was when he asked around to his fellow officers to see what they thought about this ticket writing policy, and some of them echoed their feelings that it was also unfair. Mike?
Cop crosses thin blue line to expose how department forces officers to write tickets. A police officer who was fired for refusing to write mandatory citations is now speaking out about the problems caused by policing for profit. By Jack Burns, April 16, 2018. Alpharetta, Georgia, a police officer who was fired for not writing enough tickets and criminal citations is now speaking out about policing for profit among other important subjects, and claiming that it should not be the job of police to make people's lives miserable. Former Officer Daniel Capps was fired when he defied one of his superior's directives to immediately write a traffic citation on all minor fender benders. Capps told CBS 46 that his response to the order was, "Someone's already having to pay the insurance, it's a hassle, there's no need to have a ticket, fines, on top of that." When asked what the primary motivation was for being ordered to write so many needless tickets, Capps said his supervisor was just one of those guys who likes writing tickets, and gets off on, in their words, causing other people pain. Capps said his philosophy allowed him to give a lot of warnings, but added, if they needed a ticket they would get one. He said if citizens were courteous and they understood what they did wrong, I wouldn't write a citation. The fired officer also said he treated automobile accidents the same way, but that was not good enough for his superiors. After exercising what one might say was a form of democracy, Capps asked his fellow officers how they felt about being mandated to write citations, and he said that was when he was asked to leave. CBS 46 asked the Alpharetta city manager James Drinkard why Capps was fired. They received the following response. While the decision to terminate employment was based, in part, on the former employee's decision to ignore lawful departmental policy and refuse to properly cite at-fault drivers who caused traffic crashes that resulted in property damage, that behavior was part of a pattern of performance and poor decision-making that was simply not acceptable. The city of Alpharetta makes no apology for holding our personnel responsible for properly carrying out their assigned duties, being stewards of the public trust, and advancing our mission to enhance the quality of life of our residents, businesses, and visitors. According to an internal memo uncovered by CBS 46, all officers have now been instructed to issue criminal citations for all accidents, including minor fender benders where no one was injured and where minimal damage occurred. Those kinds of citations drive up the already high costs of automobile ownership by increasing insurance premiums. Alpharetta City Councilman Dan Merkel said his daughter also got caught up in the mandatory ticket writing scheme. There was no damage to her car and no visible damage to the other car, but she got a ticket for following too close, he said. Predictably, Cap said he has not been able to find work in another police department as an officer. Maybe he is too honest for police work, or maybe policing in some police departments has become policing for profit. Such is the catchphrase for the phenomena of writing tickets as a way to generate income for police departments. One such case of policing for profit was caught on body camera video and cell phone footage and immediately went viral. In early 2017, a police officer in North Enid, Oklahoma, decided to write resident Collywood a ticket for stopping on the side of the road to speak with her friend, physical therapist Gary Duckworth. Duckworth gave Officer John Miller an earful of complaints, followed by promises of getting him fired for harassing him and his friend for the crime of stopping on the side of the road to greet each other. Miller responded by threatening to tase Duckworth for confronting him and his decision to write a ticket. In an exclusive interview with the Free Thought Project, Duckworth said the harassment from police was reaching epic proportions in North End, with many residents getting ticketed for frivolous infractions of the law such as speeding just a few miles above the speed limit. Duckworth even threatened to run for mayor so that he could take back his town from what he believed to be an out-of-control police department. Policing for profit is a very real phenomenon, and it has painful consequences. Not only were residents in Alpharetta having to pay already high insurance rates, but as Caps revealed, they were also faced with misdemeanor criminal moving violations charges. Fortunately, one officer decided to say enough was enough, but he paid for it with his own job. So where are all the good police departments now that an honest officer is looking for work? America needs more officers like Caps and fewer who are willing to cite a neighbor for stopping to say hello to a friend.
Hi there. Hi there.
Hi.
You're parked here respect to the traffic, and there's a sign back here that says no parking on this side of the road.
He's not parking. I mean,
I'm so sorry. Do you have your license with you? Insurance card?
I sure do. Hold on one second.
I mean, her car's running. I mean, we're just talking. Okay. You can come to court and tell the judge. She was here when I drove by and wrote another one.
Ticket for sitting here and talking to
Yeah.
him? Okay, let me get you my insurance and I will be in court for you.
Okay.
There you go.
That will work.
The motor should be off. She should be out.
Man, I ain't arguing with you. Callie, do you work outside the home?
Yes, I do.
What kind of work do you do?
I work for an optometrist.
Okay. Need a signature. It's not any guilt. Just says you'll take care of it. Either pay it or come to court.
I will definitely be at court.
Okay. It's $25.
What's the court date?
I'll explain it to her. She's the one getting the ticket.
You can't even answer my question.
Sir, I owe you nothing. You've been nothing but rude to me since I got here, and you're not part of my stop.
No, I haven't been rude to you, but you know what? You do owe me something because I'm a taxpayer. I live in that house. I own that house. I pay your salary.
Okay.
And I've been in this community since I was about 10 years old.
Okay.
And I know everybody in this community, and what I expect, your job is to protect and to serve. And you could have at least come by and you could have at least told her, you need to move. You can't be sitting over there.
There's signs up. Really?
She's not. She doesn't get out. She didn't park.
Right.
It says no
Here's
park.
your court date.
No, excuse me.
It's
I'm
over
still
here at the
talking to
PD.
you. You can listen to
Have
what
a good
I've
one.
got to say. Excuse me.
Back up, or you're going to jail.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Really?
Back up.
You pull the tape. Get a picture of this.
It's on camera.
Good.
903
You
starts
can at
1010.
least listen to what I've got to say. You don't have any reason to pull that taser.
Oh, I got plenty of
I'm
reasons.
gonna have your job, dude.
Okay.
I'm gonna have your job.
Okay.
You better holster that.
I ain't holstered nothing.
I'm getting ready to call Brad Gungus, my attorney.
Okay.
Get ready. You got a picture of this?
It's on video.
Good. Good. You're gonna hear from me.
Okay.
You can at least answer my questions. And if you think
Sir, we're done.
You think
We're done. Back away from me.
You're justified to pull a taser on me just because you don't want to answer my questions. That's a bunch of crap.
Affirm.
I can stand on my property and I can say anything I want to you, dude. So you don't have all the out. Go ahead and leave.
I am. I'm finished with my stop, sir.
You don't think you got to answer my questions? Protect and serve. Pride and service to our community.
10:03, 10:90.
1022. I'm 10-8.
Affirming, you're 10:2.
Affirm and 10-8.
10-4, units, you copy? 35, copy.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I just wanted you to know that I am using this stuff under fair use. And also remember to like and subscribe this channel. Also too, keep in mind I do not make any money on YouTube. This is 5 hours work a day, you know, fighting for freedom. And you can donate with PayPal and Patreon. I just want you to think about this. If everybody gives to PayPal and Patreon, Patreon is every month. Actually, PayPal you can do every month. I have 12,000 subscribers. If everybody gives, I can quit my regular job and go full-time investigations on Charlotte County and possibly even more and beyond. So just keep that in mind. If everybody helps out, I can go full-time doing this. Thanks.